Welcome back to the brand newest channel on YouTube, J Bird Reacts. Today's video is going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a good one. It's going to be dealing with nothing but the Nephilim and the giant race that supposedly lived way, way back in the day. So let's do it. There's going to be a lot of good stuff in here. So without further ado, let's get going.
Tartaria, the largest, most advanced worldwide empire in history, intentionally destroyed by the Satanic Cabal. What's intrigued many of us researchers is the declassified document by the CIA which mentions the deletion of this country's history, although its remains are still everywhere. We've been indoctrinated with a false historical timeline. Our knowledge was erased and forgotten. These buildings were used for harnessing the ether and converting it into free energy. Their boats ran off free energy, the columns were electric, and the cathedral domes and towers were power stations for transmission of clean, free, and wireless energy. Later on, the parasites put crosses and other religious symbols to conceal the original purpose. Life back then was of community, of oneness, of health, and of technologies hidden from our timeline.
So how about that, all of them big cathedral-like buildings and all that stuff. It's been around for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, way before our forefathers' time and all that. It's almost like they were there already, kind of, Like, that's what a lot of people, like, the conspiracy is, that the Nephilim are the one that built these big, huge cathedrals and all this stuff. And they had all this technology that was erased from our memories. They didn't teach us about. But, yes, and that's supposedly, like, all this stuff was built by them. And we kind of moved in, supposedly, and claimed it for our own. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the thing there, but... Yeah, but anyway, on the top of them buildings, though, there's steeples. Like, churches have all them churches you see nowadays that are real old have them steeples with the weird balls and different spots of it. Supposedly that was used to collect energy back in the day to give everybody free electricity or whatever, you know what I mean? So, free energy that floats around us all the time, because energy is around us at all times. There's ways to harness that energy so we can all have free energy. I don't know, but that's the start of this video. It's going to be dealing with mostly the giants and Nephilim that she was kind of talking about in that video clip. Building these big cathedrals and all that kind of stuff. There's going to be a lot of stuff to deal with that. So let's keep going, y'all.
I'm proposing that Tartaria was actually the 1,000-year reign of Christ. This could have been a physical reign, or it could have been the Christ consciousness in place for 1,000 years. Is it possible the organ machines we see are actually organ healing machines? They emitted sound frequencies over very large areas, frequencies of healing. We know by what is left behind that the civilization before us was far more advanced. We cannot recreate their technology or their architecture. We're told at the end of the 1,000 years that Satan would be released. Is it any coincidence that there is so much evidence of this great reset? Look at all that has survived, and then imagine what hasn't survived, the many cataclysms the earth has gone through.
Yeah, so I don't know if I go along with what he proposes, but there was a lot of clips in his video there that was showing exactly what I was just talking about, how the tops of the tops of the churches have them spherical things with the different balls going down. That was all used to collect energy from the earth. You know what I mean? Like, it's flowing all around us at all times, and somehow they had some kind of technology where that would collect in them balls and send it down through into probably like batteries or some kind of thing that would store the energy and then send it out to somewhere else, kind of like almost how we do stuff. Kind of, yeah, that's how we do stuff now. It's but it's not that way. But yeah, there's ways out there, and I wish we knew it, because we'd never have to pay the electric bill again. But anyway, yeah, that's what this is going to be doing about that. Like I said, I don't know if I agree with his little thing about the organs being giant healers, but hey, you never know. Like some of them big giant organs do play some crazy frequencies and sounds coming out of them, and they do say certain sounds and frequencies are known to heal and help relax and help you sleep and whatever. So let's keep going though. We're doing good here. Let's go.
Here is a photo of the Eiffel Tower from 1889 at the World's Fair, receiving the Earth's energy to create sources of light.
It was just another quick example of harnessing the Earth's energy to produce your own energy, light, electricity. The Eiffel Tower lit up like that in the World's Fair back in 1889. Yeah. Something going on here that we don't know about, and they never told us. Keeping it under wraps, huh? Why they doing that? Why? I wonder what she's doing. She looks like she's wrapping a wire around the fire hydrant there, and like she's trying to ground something. Huh. I wonder what she's doing there. I don't know. Maybe she's trying to get some kind of energy somehow. Let's keep watching and find out. Is she using a mobile phone just by wrapping a wire on a fire hydrant and you having it attached to some kind of phone box machine that's then attached to an umbrella with some kind of wire pattern on it? Is she harnessing energy? I think she is. She's using the phone. And I don't know if it said the year of that, but I think it was well before any kind of cell phones came out. Yeah. Yeah, so there was mobile phones way back in the day just by using the energy of Mother Earth. How about that? Because she didn't connect it into any kind of telephone wire or anything like that. She ground it off with a wire onto that metal stud sticking out of the earth, which was a fire hydrant. And she had it go into a box that had a wire coming out that was using an umbrella with a wire formation on top of it, somehow collecting the energy from the Earth's atmosphere that's always around us. And she was using a phone. How about that? That's crazy, man. Yeah, we got to throw some weird stuff in there too, you know what I'm saying? But hey, let's move on.
Giants and Artifacts. Here's a giant book in English from the 12th century, 36 inches tall, 30 inches wide, and when shut, it's 8.7 inches thick, and it weighs 165 pounds. This is one of a collection of 12 giant books made in 1715 by a priest in New Spain in Mexico. Giant violin, 12 feet tall. This picture was taken between 1900 to 1909. This gun looks about 12 to 13 feet tall. 137 more giant artifacts found in the deep forest around the Plain of Jars, the Plain of Jars in the Shankaling, Laos. When they traveled more north, deep in the mountains, they found thousands of these megalithic stone jars scattered across nearly 100 sites. Now, what kind of watered-down Nephilim would use these frying pans and these axes? Why are giants worthy of any discussion at all? Because they show up all through scripture. If we are convinced there were no giants or no worldwide flood, despite strong evidence from academia, I feel it's extremely important for us to really dig deep into the past, and luckily I'm not the only one. Ralph Glidden stands at a dig site beside a human giant he found in Santa Catalina Island during the early 20th century. Take note to the hand gesture from the Nephilim on the left. Here's Ji Chong Wu from 1870. Here's one from 1920. There is very credible documented evidence that giant skeletons were found across America in the late 1800s. So why is it that we don't see many modern-day giants? Now, if we look a little bit deeper, we'll notice certain companies that were funded around these times. Big Pharma. Certain experiments that were conducted on the soldiers and then everyone else. So I think that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this little video I put together. Please like, follow, and comment. Blessings to all.
Yeah, man, that's crazy stuff right there. Like all kind of proof about giants. Why are they hiding all that? Why are they trying to erase the history of them altogether? You know, because clearly there's many pieces of evidence out there that show that there was something not big back then. The footprints, all the jars and the lids or whatever, the jars and the bowls and the cups. The huge violin, all them huge books that were real books, freaking 165-pound books. Like, really? That was made in the 1700s? For what? What were they making them giant books for back in the 1700s? I don't know, man. I think we've been lied to a lot, a real lot, about everything.
And that sound and that feeling, that is the frequency and vibrations. What the old world used so predominantly. And the true reason behind all the bells that magically disappeared. Or they tell us it was for ammunition for the wars. But many truths get lost in the fog of war. The healing and uplifting properties of bells have been used for generations. But it goes deeper than that, moving us from the true nature of this realm, making us all that much easier to control, question everything from.
Question everything is right. Like, why did they get rid of all them bells, you know? Did they have healing properties? Like that sound that dude was making in the beginning of that video, that little clip there, it was crazy sound, you know, like just coming off of a bell. Little tiny little tap of a bell producing that kind of a beautiful sound, pretty much, you know, like, why? There's no way they got rid of all them bells from back in the day just for ammo. Come on now, give me a break. But let's keep going. We're doing good.
Je connais une blonde, il n'en est qu'une au monde. Quand elle sourit, le paradis n'a rien d'aussi joli que les charmes de ma blonde. Je n'aime qu'elle au monde. Ses yeux charmeurs, son sorceleur, c'est tout mon bonheur.
Yeah, just another example of old world technology right there, you know, like moving sidewalks. Who would have thought back in the 1800s they would have had moving sidewalks like that, you know? Like, I never learned that in school. I'm sure no one else learned that back in high school or nothing like that either. Like, they don't teach you stuff like that, you know? But anyway, let's keep going.
Look at the old buildings from the old world, the sacred buildings. They used to have these brass balls, and they loaded them up with mercury, and they'd put them real high up so that they could gather atmospheric energy, which is free energy. The higher you go up, the more energy that's up there. And they would run, for example, a copper wire down into their home, and they could use that if they wanted free energy or to light their light bulbs or whatever things that they had in the home. A lot of this is never disclosed because, for example, when we look at all of these things from the past, we start to look at a lot of things were about electrical conductivity. Look at that. They all look like conductors, right? Sacred buildings are looking like conductors. They're built like conductors. There's free energy right there. Free energy right there. But the thing is they changed all the history to make it look like everybody was fighting each other. It was medieval. People were going against each other. But in reality, I think the hidden history of the past is very different than what we've been taught.
And there you go, another fine example of gathering the energy that Earth has all around us at all times. You know, he said mercury. They used red mercury, whatever mercury inside there. They would gather up the energy somehow, collect it into a battery, and then they would use that for their electricity if they wanted to light up stuff and all that stuff. Free energy. We have it. We could still do it today if we had the exact blueprint how to do it, but I don't know how long it would last, because as soon as some Uncle Sam or higher up found out, they'd shut it down quicker than shit, I'm sure. But hey, it's out there. It is definitely out there, folks.
Have you ever asked yourself how many myths are actual facts? Here's a series of pictures looking into our petrified past. Many theorize that the floods took the Titans out, but from my research, it looks more like a catastrophic plasma event took them out, which would have petrified them, considering they were a silica-based life form, and then shortly after that, a flood would happen to cool down the earth. When you realize what you are looking at, it's so obvious. These Titans are the fathers of the Nephilim, the demigods, the men of fame in Genesis. Their fathers are the basis of the stories of the gods of not only the Greeks, but also ancient Egyptians, Babylonians, Romans, and many more. The Titans were disobedient, rebellious angels perpetrated as gods that had abandoned heaven and continuously transformed into human form, having relations with women who bore them the Nephilim. I question the Nephilim all drowned in the flood, but their fathers supposedly were imprisoned within the atmosphere of the earth, within the spirit realm, and since then they've been called devil and demons and even ghosts. Look at these giant trees that have been cut down. Who would have been that large and strong enough to cut them down? Please like and share your thoughts, and blessings to all.
Now that was some crazy footage there, you know, like, she has an interesting theory there too. Like, she said some kind of a plasma event that happened where it pretty much fossilized all living things on the earth at that point, you know. I mean, a lot of them pictures really looked like either people or animals or something, and the giant tree trunks, like, they were cut perfectly across, you know. Like, who could cut that perfectly across like that? Whether it was a alien maybe, or alien technology, but that, there's no doubt in my mind, them are petrified tree trunks or tree stumps sticking up, and they were huge, like, and something cut them things perfectly flat across, you know. I don't know, but it's just mind-boggling, definitely. was a bunch more examples of old world technology, man. Like, some of that stuff was wild on there too. Like, I gotta get me a pair of them jet roller skates. He had a jetpack on his back and holding on to the back of that thing and zooming on down the sidewalk. That would have been nice to have. It would have been fun to have something like that when I was young or even old. I'd use them now. But yeah, man, a bunch of cool stuff from back in the day. Never knew about it, did you?
Let's take a look at some of the building materials from different time periods and see how they stack up. A brick from modern times, a brick from the 1950s, and a brick from 1890. Let's see what ones hold up to the pressure. Looks like 607 for the modern day. Whole whopping 1,049 for the 1950 brick. And no surprise to me, the brick from the 1890s with 1,175 wins. And now let's take a look at concrete and how much pressure it can hold. From the modern day concrete of 6,321, and we have concrete of the old world. Not even close. Over 18 tons. We are truly going forwards and reverse. I think the evidence speaks for itself. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
Well, just watching that clip makes me think of the saying that I've heard many, many times over the years is they don't make them like they used to, do they? And apparently they definitely don't. Like, I couldn't believe that. Old world concrete, 60 ton to finally make it crack, you know? Unbelievable. Like, we are definitely going backwards and not forward. And it's just people are getting cheaper and more worried about making the money instead of giving out a quality product. And that's all it is. It's greed. Greed rules all. And it's bullcrap, you know. But anyway, let's keep moving. And like he said, question everything.
The world around you is a lie, and the history of us has been covered up. We are the new population of the world, and a one world, unified race of people used to exist all across. The Tartarians. They built all these buildings that you see, and they designed them in order to obtain the free energy from the atmosphere. No matter where you look, you'll find the same thing. People attribute that to design styles and architecture, and the story has been greatly falsified, most likely by artificial intelligence that we know nothing about. But it's clear that if you look around long enough, you'll see that there is much more to this story. What happened? If we did build these, how have we gone so far downhill? Why are the doorways so massive? Why are the old stories of giants being dug up from the ground? Many people say this is the millennial reign of Christ.
You know what? The world around us is a lie. And there's no doubt about that, you know. All them old buildings, we didn't build them. The Tartarians built them, the giants, you know, like, there's a bunch of stuff, like, and they built them in a way to collect free energy for all, for whoever lived within that dwelling. And then, if we did build it, like the guy said, why in the world would you build them doors 12 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet high, you know? Something else is going on, and like he said, the world around us is a complete lie.
Look at this. I want you to look at this. We have downgraded ourselves. We have destroyed all of the beauty from the old world. either through wars or just simply demolishing it ourselves. And not only that, we've altered and modified many buildings to look significantly worse than they used to look, or just outright bland. And why would we do that? Why would we destroy the old world and the old decor, the ornamentation? Why would we take all that away? Now, this picture was very interesting because look at this triangle here and look at it now. Everything was removed. Everything was hidden. And you have to ask why? Why are they hiding our real history? Because it isn't our history to begin with. And all these great buildings and great cities were found.
So what do you guys think about that one, huh? Like, all them pictures showing what the building looked like way back in the day and what it looks like nowadays. I mean, they did ruin a lot of good looking buildings. For what reason? Why? The guy in the video seems to think we found it all. That's why. It wasn't our history to begin with. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think about that, though? Let me know in the comments.
Can anybody tell me why the city of Paris looks so empty? In these old photographs, it looks like nobody's around. And yet, we see these majestic buildings. Now, of course, as years go by, we see more people. But tell me something. Do these look like the type people to have built all this infrastructure? Where are the workers? Where are the great trucks full of materials? Where's everything? You don't see that. But what you do see is people living life to their fullest. And there's very few of them compared to how big these buildings are. What happened? Well, these buildings were found and not founded. The Great Reset happened all over the world. And in Paris, this was the new population.
There's another one, you know, like she seems to think that them buildings over in Paris were found, not founded, you know, like, and I mean, them pictures, them early pictures, there was nobody to be found at all. And where were all the workers and all that stuff, you know, like they don't have pictures of stuff like that, of any of that stuff being built, but they have pictures of it while it's up, you know. So, I don't know, man, it's definitely something for the comments. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about that. And don't forget to like and share.
You can see its very large hands. See its eyes. It clearly is a male. You can see right there. This is the front of the Sasquatch. And then you can see it's the back side. You can see it has testicles right there. Its hands are gigantic. You know, compared to a human's hand, like my hand's not even close.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You guys think that was real? You think that was actually Sasquatch or Nephilim or giant or something like that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it could have definitely been something staged, or there's plenty of good special effects people out there in Hollywood that could have made something like that, you know, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know.
Look what this guy had to say about the government hiding Nephilim giants in their military bases.
Greg Renrich, that was one of the things that he told me. He's the one that was talking about seeing the giants in the deep underground military bases.
Giants in military bases? Please go on.
He said that one of the first things that they had to do before he was allowed to go into S4 or S20 or any of the others, they made him sign an affidavit saying, you're not allowed to use the name Jesus Christ in these underground facilities, not even if you stub your toe or anything. And he said that he saw 10 to 25 foot tall giants in these underground bases.
I'm just like, wow. 10 to 15 foot giants in underground bases? Today? Are you kidding me?
Said that they were, human scientists and other people working side by side with them. He said that they even came right out and said they were the Nephilim. They came right out and said it. Said that, basically we're preparing for an intergalactic war with God, and they believe that they're going to win.
Where are they getting this they're going to win from?
And why are you not allowed to say the name Jesus in these underground facilities?
Jesus said, just like in the days of Noah, so will it be in the coming of the Son of Man.
That's a lot to take in right there, man. Wow. Like, first off, I don't even know if I believe that there's giants in military bases underground, but hey, you never know. They hide so much stuff from us now. It could be possible, but man, like, that's crazy stuff right there. The Nephilim are still around today, according to that guy.
During the days of Noah, the fallen angels and their offspring, the Nephilim, were influencing, corrupting the human race to live in sin. And we know in the book of Genesis, God says that the wickedness was so bad, he had to flood the entire earth. And we know God had to do this in order for the Messiah to come through Noah's bloodline to redeem us. The enemy doesn't want people to know there's power in the name of Jesus. Use your authority to stomp out that dirty lying devil in Jesus' name.
Well, what do you think, guys? Like, there's another one for us to bring up in the comments. What do you guys think about all that? I mean, I'm hoping I can get some good comments out of you guys out of that one, because I'm kind of like at a loss for words for some of that, I used to be in the military myself, so, I mean, who knows? It could be. There's deep underground military bases that are holding this race of people, but I don't know. Let's bring that subject up in the comments, so let me know what y'all think. And on that note, we're calling it a night. Thank you all once again for joining me. And if you made it all the way through to this point, please click that like button and share this out. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and be part of this family. We're going to be all about positive vibes here. We're going to react to a lot of different things, like not just the same old creepy stuff and weird stuff. Like the last video I did was about the NHL goals and stuff like that. So we're going to do stuff like that. We're going to bounce around a little bit. I don't like to be on the same subject too long. I mean, I know everyone does like crazy, weird, and scary and all that stuff, so I'm going to stick a little more on that subject, but I am going to bounce around here and there. So once again, thank you guys for being here. I had a great time once again. And we'll see you next time, man. This is Jay Bird Reacts, and I'm out.